At 19 years old, you think courage is something loud. You think it sounds like boots on concrete, rifles clicking into place, helicopters cutting through the sky, and men calling each other brothers in movies you watched too many times. So when you sit across from a recruiter in a small office beside a grocery store, you do not feel afraid. You feel chosen. He slides the papers across the desk, smiles like he is handing you a golden ticket, and tells you that only a certain kind of man even considers this path. You believe him because you want to believe him. You played football. You lifted weights in your garage. You ran until your lungs burned. In your head, you are already wearing the green beret. You imagine respect, danger, secret missions, and a life bigger than the town you came from. But nobody tells you what the movies leave out. Nobody tells you that every new rank will give you something and take something back. First, it takes your comfort, then your fear, then your sleep, then your innocence, then pieces of your family, your body, your memory, and finally the version of yourself your mother still thinks she knows. You sign your name anyway. The recruiter shakes your hand. For 1 second, you feel like your life has just begun. You have no idea that the real journey will not be about becoming unstoppable. It will be about finding out how much a human being can carry before he finally sits alone in silence and wonders what all of it meant. Level 1, Rank 1, the recruit. The Army does not make you feel strong at first, it makes you feel small. The moment you step off the bus at basic training, your old life disappears. Your hair is shaved, your clothes are taken, and a drill sergeant screams so close to your face that you forget every brave thing you imagined before signing the papers. For 10 weeks, your world becomes pain, sweat, rifles, marching, bad sleep, and orders shouted before sunrise. You learn to run when your legs burn. You learn to shoot with shaking hands. You learn that quitting is easy, but getting up again is what changes you. Graduation feels like victory for a few hours. Your mother cries when she sees you in uniform, and you finally feel proud. Then airborne school begins. 3 weeks later, you are standing at an open aircraft door, staring at the sky below you. The jump master pushes you out, and for a few seconds, you are nothing but fear falling through empty air. Your parachute opens. You hit the ground hard. You survive. After 5 jumps, you earn your wings. But at Fort Bragg, you realize wings are not enough. You see Green Berets walking past like men from another world. They do not notice you yet. You spend your first year cleaning weapons, standing in the rain, and proving you can endure boredom as much as pain. 11 months in, you request Special Forces selection. Your platoon sergeant says most men quit in the first week. You say nothing. You just decide you will not be one of them. Level 2, Rank 2. The candidate selection does not care about your confidence. It only cares what is left when confidence runs out. On the first day of SFAs, hundreds of men stand beside you, all pretending they are not afraid. Some look stronger, some look calmer. Some look like they were born for this. But nobody knows who will still be standing 3 weeks later. The first days are nothing but tests. Push-ups, pull-ups, runs, and a 12-mile ruck with weight digging into your shoulders. Nobody tells you the real standard. Nobody says if you passed. They only tell you where to be next, and you show up with sore legs, swollen feet, and one thought in your head: do not quit. Then comes the forest. You carry a heavy rucksack through swamps, hills, and pine trees, with only a map, a compass, and a deadline you are never fully told. You walk until your body stops asking for rest and starts begging for mercy. Men quit around you. They walk to the cadre, say the words, and disappear in a truck. You watch them leave, then turn back toward the trees. By team week, everyone is broken in a different way. You carry logs, drag equipment, build rafts, and solve problems with strangers who are just as tired as you. The instructors barely speak. They only watch. They want to know if pain makes you selfish or useful. At the end, names are read from a list. When you hear yours, you do not celebrate. You just breathe. You have been selected. But selection is not the finish line. It is the gate. Level 3, Rank 3, the qualification student. Getting selected feels good for one night. Then the Q course reminds you that being chosen does not mean you are ready. For the next 18 months, your life becomes a long test with no applause. You learn to move through the woods without being seen, set ambushes, survive ambushes, read terrain, give silent signals, and sleep in dirt like it is normal. Every week removes another soft part of you. Then they give you a specialty. You become a weapons sergeant, the man expected to understand anything that fires. American rifles, Russian rifles, old machine guns, foreign pistols, weapons you have never seen before. You learn to shoot them, repair them, take them apart, and teach other men how to use them. Your shoulder bruises, your ears ring, your hands smell like oil and metal. After that comes Arabic. 8 hours in class, then more hours alone with books while your brain feels full. New sounds, new letters, thousands of words. Some men fail and disappear into recycling. You stay, you pass. Then comes Robin Sage. You are dropped into a fake country called Pineland, where civilian role players test you like real locals would. You train guerrillas, win trust, make mistakes, recover, and lead them through a simulated war. When it ends, you return to Fort Bragg. They place the green beret on your head. Your mother cries again. This time you do too. But the beret is not the reward. The mission is. From now on, you belong to a world most people will never see. Level 4, Rank 4, the Junior Engineer Sergeant. Now you are finally on an ODA, a 12-man Special Forces team where every man is expected to be useful, calm, and dangerous. You are the Junior Engineer Sergeant. Your job is simple on paper. Build what needs to be built, destroy what needs to be destroyed, and keep learning from men who have already survived things you have only trained for. Your first deployment takes you to Iraq. During the day, you train Iraqi soldiers at a dusty camp outside Baghdad. You teach them how to shoot, clear rooms, treat wounds, and move as a unit. Some of them listen like their country depends on it. Some smile too easily. Some avoid your eyes. You do not know who is loyal, who is afraid, and who is waiting to betray you. So you teach them anyway. At night, the training turns real. Your team moves through dark streets, raids houses, searches courtyards, and follows intelligence that may be right or dangerously wrong. Sometimes you find weapons. Sometimes you find terrified families. Sometimes you find men who are not planning to surrender. Your first firefight is over in less than a minute, but inside your head it stretches forever. Your team leader is hit, and suddenly training becomes instinct. You drag him behind cover, press your hands where the blood is coming from, and call for evacuation with a voice that sounds calmer than you feel. He survives. When the older guys look at you afterward, something has changed. By Christmas, you are eating crushed cookies from a package your mother sent, sitting in a plywood room while distant mortars shake the night. She asks on the phone if you are safe. You tell her you are fine. Then you hang up and finally understand the first real lesson of war. Fine is just what you say when the truth is too heavy to send home. Level 5, Rank 5, the Senior Weapons Sergeant. By your fourth deployment, war no longer feels new. That is what scares you most. You are 27 now, promoted to Senior Weapons Sergeant, the man everyone expects to know every rifle, every machine gun, every answer when bullets start flying. You have already been to Iraq twice. Now Afghanistan teaches you a different kind of pressure. Your team lives in a small village far from the nearest American base. The road in is dirt. The mountains above you belong to the Taliban at night. Every afternoon, you sit with village elders and drink tea. One man lost sons to the Taliban. Another lost family to an American strike. Both ask for your help. Both might betray you tomorrow. You learn to smile, listen, and never fully relax. You train local police, bring supplies, help build a school, and pay for a well. It almost feels like progress until the radios crackle after dark and enemy voices whisper your name. They know where you sleep. They know where your family lives back home. You stop sleeping deeply. One day a boy brings a warning. Taliban fighters will move weapons through a nearby valley. You verify it, plan the ambush, and wait in brutal heat for hours. When they arrive, the fight lasts only minutes. You win, but victory feels empty. 2 weeks later, your medic steps on a pressure plate. The blast throws him into the air. You tie tourniquets around what is left of his legs and hold his hand in the helicopter while he asks about his wife. He survives, but he never walks the same way again. Months later, he thanks you for saving his life. You do not know what to say, because by now you understand something no training course can teach. Sometimes survival is not the opposite of loss. Sometimes survival is just the part that comes after it. Level 6, Rank 6, the Team Sergeant. At 32, your body already feels older than it should. Your knees hurt in the morning. Your ears ring when the room is quiet. You have buried teammates in places their families will visit forever. Now you are the Team Sergeant, the senior enlisted man on the ODA. The captain outranks you, but the younger men watch your face when things go wrong. If you panic, they panic. So you never do. Your job is not only missions anymore, it is people. One man is going through a divorce. Another loses his father. Another just became a dad and is terrified he will miss everything. You listen in the team room, make calls, give advice, and pretend you have answers. The team is a family, and you have become the man standing in the center of it. Then Syria pulls you back into the dark. You work with Kurdish forces against ISIS, living in broken buildings, moving under drones, calling airstrikes close enough to feel the blast in your chest. You speak through translators, radios, maps, and hand signals. Your Kurdish partners call you brother. Most of them mean it. Some of them die proving it. Then your weapons sergeant is killed by a sniper round in Raqqa. He is 29. He has a little daughter named Emma. You write the letter to his wife because someone has to. At the funeral, you hand Emma a folded flag, and she asks when her father's coming home. Nobody answers. Later, you pack his locker into a box and find a beach photo in his wallet. You close the lid and sit in the dark. This is the rank nobody dreams about at 19. Not the power, not the respect, the burden. You are the man everyone leans on, even when something inside you is starting to crack. Level 7, Rank 7, the Tier 1 operator. One day, a man with no insignia finds you after training. He does not say the unit's name. He does not need to. In your world, everyone knows what the invitation means. Delta Force, Tier 1. The place where even Green Berets look up and wonder if they could survive. You go to selection in the mountains, and it makes everything before it feel gentle. Men who have led teams, survived firefights, and earned medals disappear one by one. Nobody gives speeches. Nobody begs you to stay. The course simply keeps asking the same question in different ways. How much farther can you go when nobody is watching? Out of hundreds, only a few remain. Somehow, you are one of them. Then comes the operator training course. 6 months of shooting, driving, breaching, climbing, clearing rooms, and learning violence with surgical precision. You train inside fake airplanes, buses, embassies, and houses built only to be stormed again and again. You shoot in darkness. You move under night vision. You learn to make decisions faster than fear can speak. Your first real mission is classified. So is the next one. And the next. You fly somewhere you cannot name, do something you cannot describe, and come home like nothing happened. Your wife asks where you were less and less over the years. Not because she stopped caring, but because she learned the answer would always be silence. Now you hunt men most people will never know existed. Hostage rescue, high-value targets, raids in countries where American troops are not officially present. If you succeed, nobody hears about it. If something goes wrong, the world might see the consequences by morning. You become a ghost, moving through places most Americans cannot find on a map. The reward is being trusted with the hardest missions on Earth. The cost is that even the people who love you can no longer fully know you. Level 8, Rank 8, the Squadron Commander. After 20 years in special operations, your body is no longer asking for rest. It is demanding payment. Your back hurts, your joints ache, and some mornings you stand up slowly like an old man. But now you command a squadron. Around 100 operators depend on your decisions, your planning, and your judgment. You do not kick down doors anymore. You send other men through them. Your battlefield is different now. It is a room filled with screens, maps, radios, drone feeds, and people waiting for your answer. You watch buildings from the sky. You listen to intelligence reports. You approve missions, knowing the men who execute them may not all come back. Sometimes the information is perfect. Sometimes it is not. Either way, the decision still lands on your desk. You brief generals, admirals, and people whose names appear on television. You explain what can be done, what might go wrong, and what it will cost. Then you return to your operators, men who look strong on the outside but carry cracks no one else can see. Some are drinking too much. Some cannot sleep. Some lost marriages, friends, or parts of themselves they do not know how to name. You try to get them help without making them feel weak. At home, your daughter is 14 and almost a stranger. You miss school years, birthdays, quiet dinners, ordinary days that never felt urgent until they were gone. You take her out to eat and ask about her life. She answers politely. But there is a wall between you that no metal can break. Then a team is lost in Niger. 4 men killed in an ambush after bad intelligence and no help close enough to save them. You meet the caskets at Dover in the rain. You tell the families their sons and husbands died with honor. You do not tell them every detail. Some truths do not heal anyone. Later, you write the 4 names on a paper in your office. Every morning before you give another order, you read them first. Level 9, Rank 9, the General Officer. At 48, you wear stars on your uniform. Brigadier General, Commander of Joint Special Operations Command. On paper, it is the highest level you ever imagined. In reality, it feels less like victory and more like standing at the center of a machine that never sleeps. You now oversee the most elite military units America has. Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, Special Tactics Teams, intelligence units, operators whose names will never appear in public. Thousands of men move across the world because orders pass through rooms you sit in. You have staff, security, briefings, classified schedules, and an office where every phone call can change someone's life. You brief the Secretary of Defense. You brief the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Sometimes you brief the President. In those rooms, people look at you when the problem has no clean answer. A hostage in one country, a terrorist leader in another, a weapons network hidden behind borders, politics, and bad information. You present options, a small raid, a drone strike, a rescue mission, a larger operation that may save lives or create new enemies. Then a decision is made. 24 hours later, men on the other side of the world are moving through darkness because of words spoken in that room. If the mission works, most people will never know. If it fails, families will remember forever. You go home at night and sit across from your wife at dinner. She asks how your day was. You say it was fine. But fine now means you carried the lives of hundreds of men in your hands. Fine means someone survived because you acted. Fine also means someone may have died because you were wrong. You have reached the top of the warrior's world, but the view from here is not glory. It is distance, silence, and the weight of decisions no metal can make lighter. Final level, highest rank, the retired warrior. You retire quietly, no parade big enough to explain 30 years, no speech strong enough to hold all the names, all the missions, all the places you still cannot talk about. Just a small room on base, your family, a few old friends, and a letter from someone important that you later place in a drawer. Now you live in North Carolina. There is a porch, a chair, and coffee in the morning. For the first time in decades, you watch the sun rise without wondering where the next explosion will come from. You are 55, but your body feels older. Your hands shake a little. Your back hurts. One leg never healed right after Mosul. You always said you would fix it later, but later never came. There was always another deployment. Your wife suggests therapy. You go. The therapist understands enough for you to speak, but not enough for you to say everything. Some memories stay locked away by law. Others stay locked away because opening them would break something you still need. Your daughter is grown now. She has a little girl of her own. When your granddaughter runs to you and calls you granddad, something inside your chest softens. You realize there are still parts of you the war did not reach. But the past keeps calling. Former teammates check in. Fewer each year. Cancer, heart attacks, accidents, suicide. You attend more funerals than reunions. You look at your medals in a shadow box and do not see glory. You see specific days, specific men, specific mistakes, specific miracles. In spring, you speak to new Green Berets. They look young, hungry, and certain, just like you once did. You tell them the brotherhood is real. You tell them the cost is real too. You tell them to protect their families, forgive themselves when they can, and never confuse survival with peace. They listen politely. They do not believe you yet. You understand. You did not believe it either. Somewhere right now, another 19-year-old is sitting in a recruiting office. He thinks he understands what he is choosing. He thinks the uniform will make him stronger, braver, more complete. The recruiter smiles, the papers slide across the desk, and the cycle begins again. That young man does not know the names he will one day carry. He does not know the places he will be sent, the friends he will lose, or the parts of himself he will trade for each new rank. Maybe he will become a Green Beret. Maybe he will become a ghost. Maybe he will lead men, command wars, and return home with medals civilians call glory. But if he survives long enough, he will learn the truth you learned too late. Every level gives you power, but every level also takes payment. And at the highest rank, the reward is not fame. It is one quiet sunrise, one more breath, and the chance to finally ask what all of it cost.